Hello and welcome to CNN News 18 with me, Ayushman Singh Jamal. The Ministry of Minority Affairs has intervened in a case of persecution against the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in which the Andhra Pradesh Waqf Board passed a resolution in February calling the community kafirs and not Muslims. In a strongly worded letter to the Andhra Pradesh government, the Minority Affairs Ministry called the Waqf Board's resolution a hate campaign which could have ramifications across the country. The central government's Ministry of Minorities wrote a letter to the Chief Secretary of the Government of Andhra Pradesh, clearly stating that the state's Waqf Board does not have the right to issue fatwas to exclude any community from Islam. The letter added, "This constitutes a hate campaign against the Ahmadiyya community at large, and the Waqf Board neither has the jurisdiction nor authority to determine religious identity of any community, including Ahmadiyyas." So that's the piece of news that's coming in from Andhra Pradesh, where there is a face-off between the government at the center as well as the Waqf Board in Andhra Pradesh. Let's get to our guest to understand the dynamics surrounding this entire case. I'm joined by Ashwani Dubey, who's a Supreme Court advocate, as well as Maulana Masood-ul-Hasan Qasmi, who's a Muslim scholar. Mr. Qasmi, I'll come to you first. How do you see the status of Ahmadiyya Muslims when it comes to the Pan-India project, where we are a country where, as compared to any other Muslim country in the world, every sect of Islam gets to practice their religion freely? Where do you stand when it comes to the status of Ahmadiyya Muslims?
I was told that the discussion will be on the mosque in the controversy of mosque to mosque in Delhi, but coming to your question, sir, Ahmadiyyas all over the world, the Muslim community all over the world, by and large, they don't consider them Muslim because of some of their faith. Their faith, they don't consider Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam their prophet. But when the person who doesn't consider Prophet Muhammad his or her prophet, so there is no question of counting them Muslim and not, or but because the La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we say when we say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we say I accept Allah is only one in the world, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his true messenger. Right. So this community don't consider Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the real messenger of God. This is the point. But we have nobody to call them, to give fatwa against them. They are not Muslims. They may or may not be. We, on the one hand, do tabligh, we propagate Islam and call the people to come to the Islamic fold. On the other hand, a fold, a group who call themselves Muslims, we reject them. You are not Muslim. This seems to be very, very bizarre. This seems to be very, very strange. But as I personally may say, their belief is not as per the Islamic law to go as per the Islamic law which the Islam requires to be a Muslim. That is, the Allah is only one. There is no God except Allah, right. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his real messenger. This is only difference, sir.
Right, but I want to ask you, the word kafir, which was in the letter of the Andhra Pradesh Waqf Board, what does that word kafir exactly denote when it comes to addressing peoples of non-Islamic faith?
No, I don't agree with them. I don't agree with the word kafir. We don't want to say, even anybody, we can't say kafir. Yes, we can say non-believer.
Right.
People who don't believe, we say ghair Muslim. We say, better we say ghair Muslim. People who don't believe in Allah, in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they can be ghair Muslim. They can be non-believer.
Right.
They can be non-Muslims. But today the word kafir has become like an abusive word. So we people should keep ourselves away from such type of words. And
Right.
I also don't agree to this type of fatwa. Fatwa should not be issued, and this is only and only uncalled for is uncalled for. Unwanted story is being raked up, and media should also ignore such people.
But I think,
They
but
people
I think you should
don't
leave that to
deserve.
us, Mr. Qasmi. I think you should leave that to us when it comes to what kind of stories we choose, because at the end of the day, MDRs are a community that is thriving in this country, and at the same time, if you have a Waqf board of a state that is calling them kafirs, I think it's a problematic thing when it comes to the communal harmony in this country. Mr. Dubey, I want to come to you on the legal points surrounding this entire thing. If I practice faith in a certain manner, which is not adhering to certain, religious clauses, or let's say certain religious ideology, can I still call myself a member of that faith legally in this country?
Yes, that was the basic object of Article 25 of the Constitution of India. The Article 25 says that one has a right to propagate any religion. No one can obstruct any citizen of this country from propagating, from practicing, from preaching, from praying for a particular reason. Point one. Ayushman, point two. The Waqf Board wherefrom has got legal authority to issue a fatwa. Waqf Board was made, the basic intention of making this law, this legislation, to keep the properties which were left over by the people who were the believers of the Islam and who had gone out of this country. And from time to time it was amended. Wherefrom, either from the definition clause or any of the provisions of the Waqf Act, which says that they can issue the fatwa. My point number two. My point number three, a bench led by Honorable Justice C.K. Prasad in 2014, then Supreme Court judge, has said fatwas has no legal sanctity, and if anyone issues fatwas, authorities are duty bound to take legal action. Where is the authority? Where is the law and order which takes this kind of, allow these people to make these kind of fatwas? Now, my number three. Now coming to the another aspect. Now you see, first, with what authority can the Andhra Pradesh Waqf Board issue fatwa declaring Ahmadiyyas as non-Muslim? Now, under what authority, from under which provision of the Waqf Board these fatwa shares have issued this, declaring the other citizens of this country to be non-believer or the kafirs? Now, another point which is emerging here, that when the Supreme Court from time to time, because the Supreme Court is the top court of this country and custodian of the Constitution.
Right.
Supreme Court bench led by Ayushman, you remember a few months back when Honorable Justice Joseph was heading the bench, he said that the state should take action against anyone who issue a declaration, who try to propagate a thing which is creating rift in the society or hate speech or an act against the particular community where there are danger to their life and liberty. So the state, was given to the state governments that you need not to have any complaint. Suo motu state government take action. You remember, and Dharm Sansad happened, and that the Solicitor General at that point of time raised one issue which was raised by the PFI at that point of time, that they asked the genocide for particular community.
Right.
So here, when there is a law says that one should not make any statement which create rift in the society, and then the state governments are duty bound to take a legal action. I think that right now the state government, the state machinery, the police machinery should immediately register a case under section 153 or 295 of the Indian Penal Code against those people. There is this fatwa has no legal system. We live in a country where there is a rule of law.
Absolutely.
And if anything which is contrary to the rule of law, how can somebody propagate that or practice that, even glorify that event? That is the question, Ayushman.